Hi, my name is Nathan, and today we're doing a comic book review of Spawn, issue number 300, brought to you by Rated Comics. Let's get to it. We begin this issue where we left off from the last issue. Spawn shows Mark his true self, nasty, grisly, everything else is just an illusion. Feel free to check out the $2.99 review if you haven't. Just FYI, I fast forwarded a few pages in this issue just to get to the meat of it. Owl explains to Mark that it's too late for normal, and if he doesn't get his head on straight, it'll be too late for him too. Mark responds to him, if Owl thinks wrecking millions of lives with his vendetta by controlling the stock market and being cavalier with humanity is not the best way to stop heaven and hell from using Earth as its war zone. Spawn wants the world free from heaven and hell, but at what cost, says Mark. He reminds Spawn that his rage is blinding and heaven and hell are retaliating against humanity because of Spawn. Spawn doesn't see it that way. He sees it as they will do their horror regardless and they're never going to stop. Mark asks him if he could really stop heaven and hell by himself. Actually, more like you can't expect to stop them by himself. Owl knows that as he forms back to his Spawn symbiote, he needs them together and working together. Heaven and hell working together, allying with one another, serves to his benefit. He's been planning on this for so long. Planning on what, says Mark? The truth, says Spawn in his fully formed suit. His human form, costume form, the symbiote are nothing but lies. He was even fooled by their illusions on what he's supposed to be. That ignorance cost him his wife, Wanda's life. Mark expresses doubt by asking, what if he fell? Others will come, says Spawn. Right now, he knows exactly where he needs to be. Spawn teleports to Albania. See issue 299 because he knew where to go based on that other guy that he killed. No, he didn't kill him, just he was going to kill him later if his information didn't check out right. Despite Mark asking how would he get back if the worst happens to Spawn, we don't know the answer to that. Spawn is going all in on this. In Albania, that facility is the heart of toxic shipments. It is also a place where Spawn learns that an army of his enemies await him. All these years, the only thing his enemies crave was his power and symbiote costume. He's going to give them that chance tonight. He enters the facility and Spawn is confused. He expected it to be filled with workers, but it's empty. No evidence of anyone. Then a hulking silhouette appears across the warehouse. Hello, Spawn, I've been expecting you. Spawn coldly stares back in silence. This demon gives his speech to Spawn. Did you think we would just sit there and you have it your way with us? This ain't Burger King. Not gonna happen. Tell me, how is it going to work? Were you going to destroy some corporate structure? Destroy our political influence? We are everywhere, Spawn. You thought you can destroy an entire infrastructure? Pretty much just trying to make Spawn feel like dumb. Not all of it, says Al. Just enough to get the attention of someone at the top. Well, now you have mine, says the imposing demon. He returns the favor by flashing a light so bright that it catches Spawn off guard and in some pain. Burning pain, that is. You've always been weaker in light, says the demon. He's covered in a black spear protecting his face from the light. He says he's part demon and part vampire. And like you, Spawn, we thrive in darkness. But more importantly, as the demon continues on with the speech, I'm the one you made. Without you, I would never have been able to ascend to my current position. So in an odd way, the pain you're feeling, it's your own making, it's your own doing. You have enjoyed that symbiote suit for far too long. I helped create that suit that you're wearing. I know more about it than you do, Spawn. So before you die tonight, you're going to see who the true master is. Rise up, and these chains emerge from the ground and tie Spawn to the ground. Chain them up, immobile, can't move. You were never worthy to be a Hellspawn Simmons, says the demon. Your kind should have never been given that costume. None of you deserved it. Spawn's like, you sound like someone I knew, someone jealous of humans, and I see your tattoo. You must have been an admirer of his. Too bad I decapitated him. He's referencing Malboja. And thinking of Malboja, I think I might do a Spawn's origins explain on Malboja. And this guy's like, you must be quite proud, Malboja. You took out Malboja, then the clown. Maybe I shouldn't kill you, Spawn. Maybe I should keep you alive. Gonset emerges out of nowhere. That's not what we agreed to. Ah, glad you could join. Demon tells Al, I think that you met my partner. Everyone keeps warning me how powerful and tough you are, Spawn. They said the same thing about Angela and all of her angels. But you know what? Until they met my Seraphim, I wiped them all out. So you are just another failure, in other words. So this guy tells him, one last thing. I want to thank you for transforming me. And the funny thing is, all I had to do to receive your gift was to kill your wife. Gut poor little Wanda, and just rubbing salt to his wound. And Spawn's like, that's all I've been waiting to hear. He bursts from his chain, shoving his spiked fist into the chest, extracting his heart. He takes out his heart, and this guy just looks at him like, is that all you got? Godsend's like, whoa, dude, that's a little brutal. And then Spawn sees in his eyes through the reflection that his heart opening heals back together and closes up. Surely you can do better than that, says the Thing. What are you, says Spawn. Take a look. You always thought I was a joke, a clown. Not anymore, as he transforms into the Violator, a physically imposing beast that's about to do work on our hero. And we see his power level down to 14 as blood just splats as he goes in for the attack. You tried taking our money, our influence, now we're gonna take from you. Take the only thing you care about by poisoning every last human being on this planet. Gets to work on Spawn, wiping the floor with Spawn. If we can't rule this planet, we'll make sure no one else ever wills. Picks him up, plays him up like a rag doll, and pierces the top of his head, blood gushing out. Especially not you, Spawn. If we can't have it, you can't have it either. Tosses him to the side, puts all these spears inside of him, keeping Spawn right in his spot as he's getting ready to do some more torturous and brutal work to him. You're just a fraud like the others, says Godsend. And just like them, you're weak like those in the new Bible. But I am Old Testament, baby, as he gives Spawn another piercing on his shoulder or chest. Either way, Spawn just cannot move. He's near death, says Godsend. Collect what we came for. Like a vulture, the Violator begins to pick away at Spawn's flesh. Piece by piece, piece by painful piece, he strips off the symbiote as Spawn takes his last breath. Violator leaves with God saying, you'll get your share of it, let's go. And God says, like, keep your damn costume, says God. So he's just another of Hell's failed champions. I don't want that junk. But Spawn hadn't failed. This is what he's been waiting for the perfect time to throw his spark and then light it up. Explosion happens, and for a quarter-mile radius, everything is wiped out. The only things left standing are those not born here on Earth. Are you okay, says this clown Violator. Look, clown, it's him. Why won't he die? The look of shock in his eyes. I have your costume. I've got your powers. What else are you going to try to do? There ain't nothing you can do right now. Spawn has that look in his eyes. You're wrong, and you've always been wrong, says Al. Then from the ashes, Simmons begins to build his costume from the ground up. First, he takes the ashes from the ground, puts it on his face, then his chains, putting on his body and arm, piercing him up, getting all suited up organically, I guess you could say. Then his belt, takes his skull from the ground and puts it on his midsection. Then he takes his cloak, puts it on. You've been chasing the wrong thing, says Spawn. It wasn't the symbiote that gave me powers that made me what I am. It never was. And finally, he takes the spikes from the ground, puts it in his arm. You can see the pain, but you know what? It hurts so good, doesn't it? The costume didn't make me Spawn because I am Spawn. And that's where we end this issue with Spawn, issue number 300. At the end of the story, we get 4 bonus stories: Redemption, Lost and Found, Omens, and Prophecies. We won't cover all of them. Gotta leave a little meat on the bone with you guys in case you do decide to buy this comic book. Link in description if you wish to add this comic book to your comic book collection. In the Redemption storyline, issue number 299 teases that Spawn and Redeemer go into this black void. And it goes into their disappearance and what transpired with it. The two are locked in combat as Spawn catapults himself and the Redeemer into the void. It all happens in the blink of an eye as the combatants are consumed by the shadows, removed from reality to a space where no one else can follow them. They continue to go deeper and deeper as the battle wages on. Redeemer asks the obvious questions. Where have you taken me? It doesn't matter, says Spawn. What matters is your next few decisions, Eddie. The Redeemer denies the existence of Eddie. He says that he was just a vessel and nothing more. No one can save you from your final redemption. But Spawn knows he can't win this fight in the air. He hooks his enemy's leg, then speeds up as fast as he can until they hit the ground solid. Get up, says Redeemer. Spawn is done fighting and he demands Redeemer to decide what side is he fighting for. What side is Eddie fighting on? Redeemer continues to say that Eddie's dead and he fights for righteousness. Spawn rebuttals that with Redeemer's fight for lies. It's all lies. That's what you fight for. The Redeemer doesn't want to be lectured on morality. How can Spawn lecture on morality when Al accepted Hell's powers, the side that thrives on destruction, on evil? Spawn holds his sword to his neck because they both can't be right. But before Redeemer goes through with the act, Spawn asks him one question. What am I doing that's so much worse than your side? Spawn adds that there is a seed that he planted him years ago and it can't grow if he doesn't let it grow. So a decision has to be made. Kill Spawn or disavow everything that Redeemer knows. We're man's protector, says Eddie/Redeemer. Everything we do is to serve that purpose. We're not the intruders. Hell is, and you bring pain and suffering. Spawn demands that he makes a choice, and enough of this back and forth. He does make a choice. The warrior who was Heaven's Redeemer is transformed into an agent of life and death. The first being to claim the mantle of Reaper. Spawn welcomes Eddie back and he tells Reaper that we will make them pay later. But for now, no one can know. So when we go back to continue to serve your role as a Redeemer, until the time is right, then we'll set up the trap, all right? But keep doing what you got to do, Redeemer. But you're Eddie to me. And just like that, they are gone and back to normal time. Up there, so little time was passed, but sometimes it's those tiny moments that we don't see, the things that happen in the blink of an eye that can change everything. Doesn't that sound very poetic right there? We get another story in Almonds, where we have a story involving Nyx and Jessica Priest and how Jessica Priest became She-Spawn. I did cover that in She-Spawn Origins Explained video. I'll put the card on top and link in description as well to save myself from repeating it. You can also get the full details play for play by reading Almond's story in Spawn issue number 300. Link in description, like I said, if you want to add this comic book to your comic book collection. Support the art, support the industry. In conclusion, Spawn issue number 300 is a giant-sized issue, and the creative force inside of it is something to be reckoned with. There is so much to discover, and all fans and new fans alike will find something to enjoy in here. It may not be the best jumping on point, but it's an excellent place to start anyway. You can also check out the History of Spawn review that I did, where I did a full story review based on issues 296, 297. I did do 298 and 299, now 300. I'm going to continue that until we're caught up in the current Spawn issues. And I want to thank you guys for watching the content as well. It's really truly a compliment, and for subbing to this channel. Link in description if you want to support us on our other social media platforms, or if you want to buy a brother a cup of coffee, because coffee does fuel these reviews, all right? But anyways, thanks again for watching. So with all that being said, Spawn issue number 300, what you guys think of the comic book? Comment below, let me know. And also, if you like the content we're throwing up, you know what to do. Don't be shy and don't be stingy. Here at Rated Comics, we do awesome comic book reviews, comic book related content with the occasional comic book giveaway. Thanks again for watching. Until next time.